when President Obasanjo in his first time was playing the technocrats and allowed Atiku to almost to loom large in the party, it was almost skimmed out of the second term. So if President Obasanjo then learned from that example and began to manipulate the PDP. So what is happening now is not unusual for a president. I'm not holding brief, but I'm doing it. I'm talking as somebody who knows the PDP and a bit of political science. I see what is happening is normal. You see, I compare it to a snake shedding its skin. When you see it, looks traumatic, but it's not fatal.
In order to grow bigger.
Yeah. So the PDP is doing what is normal. It looks traumatic, but it's not going to kill it. But I also advise that they should do it more cleverly. They should not be as brutish as they were in Rivers. Nobody should ever do that, because it gives the party a bad name. It gives the government a bad name. So they embarrass the president. And a lot of these things have been done by people who were never elected. I cannot imagine, for example, a Wike, who is a minister in government, putting his head out to fight the governor of his state, and he's still a minister. He was not elected as a minister. He was appointed. He has no right to stay in that office. He has lost it. So the PDP must begin to be a little bit more moral in the way it handles its affairs. And we are not saying that the power manipulation is wrong. It is not wrong. The president must aim at controlling the party, or else the party, the ground will be taken away from under him. When you talk about 10 governors who are talking about going, imagine if the president was not trying to control the party. Those governors will take over the party. And before the president knows it, he's out. Just like Atiku almost threw Obasanjo out. In collusion with governors. Atiku actually had the governors with him. And if they had gone to the convention at that time, he would have won. So it took a lot of manipulation, night visits for Obasanjo to be able to overcome that danger. So the PDP is going through changes that will make the party to be a little bit more friendly to the president. And that is the way it's always been done. And we should not expect it not to be done that way. Are you confident of the efforts of the Reconciliation Committee? Do you think they would actually achieve much? You see, the point is that it is 2015. So that is the bottom line. Everybody is angling for 2015. Some of these governors want to be president too. Some of them want their candidate. Some of them are regional champions. They are talking about the North. And therefore, there's very little reconciliation you can do to get them, unless they can disadvise themselves about their 2015 aspirations. If they are desperate that the North should provide they are not going to go along with Jonathan if he's likely to win the PDP primaries. So the pursuit of 2015 is the bottom line. So all the rationality, all the arguments will not wash to anybody. Reconciliation will not matter, because people already have predetermined aspirations. So what happens to the place of service that what you were elected to do? Service? Democratica. Didn't I say it? Nigerian democracy. Service. Look at governors. They are spending more time on the road playing politics than running their country. Do you think the APC... But to be fair to them, to run a state is not about sitting in the office. Do you think the APC will run the same way? Setting the policy guidelines, yes. Would the APC run the same way, or do you think they will be working in they'll have a different mode of operation? I don't know. I can't speak for APC, but I know that we are in Nigeria. Let's go to Mr. Fashaki. Yes. Mr. Fashaki, do you expect any governor from other parties to join the APC?
Yes.
How many? Do you expect, or is APC anticipating or talking with some governors to join the party?
Pardon me, please come again with that question.
Is the APC talking with some governors from other political parties to join them?
Why not?
Which ones?
I read in the papers earlier today that some APC, I didn't read it, but I just saw the headline. I mean, I think you read that to us too, that some APC leaders visited the former military president, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. Truly, if that happens, it's still part of this idea of APC reaching out to the mass, the critical mass within the Nigerian nation space. It's allowed, and we're going to embark on that on a very large scale. APC will not just be a political party, I can tell you, will be a mass movement. So that is why it's totally different from what Prof is saying. I mean, we're not looking at just different power blocks now and acting like that. We're talking about merging these power blocks into a monolithic group that will really be the desired trade, that will really ensure the desired better lease of life for our people. That essentially is the essence of APC coming into being.
All right. Okay, then let's get a final word on this.
Yeah, well, I wish I could share Mr. Fashakin's view of things. I respect his views too, but it's never happened, and I hope that the APC, it will be in the APC that first happened that blocks dissolve automatically. It's difficult, even from the geographical realities. This ACM block is in Lagos. AMPP is mostly around northeast. CPC northwest. So they will ordinarily gravitate towards each other.
Do they need to dissolve?
That's what I'm saying. They don't need to dissolve. But that because it's difficult to dissolve, that's why it's easy to disintegrate. Because they really will not be able to dissolve. And if by 2015 they do not win, if they win, fine, they will stay together and start their internal fighting until they overpower each other. But if they do not win, of course, there's no incentive to stay together.
All right, then. I have to thank you for coming on. Professor Femi Otubanjo, political scientist in our Lagos studios, and Mr. Rotimi Fashakin, former CPC spokesman who joined us from Abuja. Thank you both for coming on Sunrise TV today. We'll return in just a moment here. Please join us again.